Good morning, everybody. Hadn't made a video in a while on anything on my channel. I've been tied up doing things in life and whatnot. But I got a different video for you here today. This is a 97 F150 Ford. It's got the 4.6 liter in it. And the current problem it's having is that the truck is idling very poorly, and it's stalling and whatnot. So I'm going to show you how to fix that for very cheap or free. Depends if you have the materials you need at home. A couple things you're going to need is a 10mm socket, one of them preferably deep well, and I'm going to need a 8mm ratchet. Well, 8mm socket with a ratchet. And what you're doing is you're going to go through and you're going to unhook everything from the throttle body. And I'm going to explain why in a minute, because the throttle body has to come off. Alright, the reason why most people can't never figure out why my truck keeps stalling, having issues, things like that, is because of a simple problem that just builds up over the years. Like, for instance, this truck's a 97. So, I mean, it's already pushing now 20 some years old, much of 30. So, anyway, the problem is when you get your throttle body off, one, it can be really dirty inside and stuff, which that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is when you come to the part, this is the part that mounts to the intake. There is two little ports, one is right there and one is right there. And what happens is this goes over to your EGR valve, which is right here. It looks like this UFO looking thing. And what happens is that the computer is confused, thinking that the truck is not getting that much air, so it tries to feed it more fuel or less fuel, whatnot, either way. And then that's what causes this thing to just totally just idle erratically, or just not want to idle at all, or it's just loping up and down. And these two ports right here in the intake. I've had this problem before on a 03 F-150. Had a 4.6 liter in it. Basically all you want to try to do is get you some bunch of carb cleaner, get you some kind of pick, and like literally this stuff is like a rock in here. I mean, just look at that. It's like a rock. Anyway, you got to go through with a bunch of carb cleaner. It'll take like a little pick or little screwdriver or something. Just be careful so you don't mess up your throttle body. But get them two ports cleaned out, you'll notice a world of difference. You'll get a lot more horsepower. Your fuel economy will go up a little more. And just overall performance of the truck. So it's a short video. I wish I would have took a video of how to get it off. But basically, you take, on this side is where your EGR valve bolts up to. It's like I said, there's two 10mm bolts. One is, let's double bolt. Let me grab it. What it does is this actually screws into the throttle body, and then there's a bracket. You know, you bolt this into the throttle body using this end right here. Then there's a bracket that bolts onto this, and this is also 10mm. And then on the other side of it, it's got a regular 10mm bolt that goes towards the front side, or the front vehicle right here. That's the way the throttle body sits in the vehicle. It's like this, but of course on top of the motor. Another thing, if you're having poor idle issues, this right here, idle air control valve sometimes gets full of carbon. You can take this out and get you some carb cleaner, and there's like two different sides in here. Once you open this up, it's like a port here, and then there's like this thing that moves back and forth, and that's what controls your air. You take this out and you can clean it with carb cleaner really good, and just make sure that little plunger is moving back and forth. Or if you don't want to clean it, you can also replace it. Also, another thing that could cause poor idle issues, check to make sure your vacuum line's on. There's one that goes here, one goes here to the back, and there's also one more right here that a vacuum line runs in here. But basically, you undo right here, if your truck has it. If you have cruise control option, this is where like this little plastic piece, which is this right here, it literally, wherever it is, there it is, it literally just snaps right on right here. on this. This is for your cruise control. And as far as for getting your throttle cable off, all you simply got to do is move this all the way forward, pull your cable back, and your cable will slide out this hole right here. And there's the end of the cable. Looks like kind of like a bicycle brake cable type of setup, sort of. And basically, there's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these all bolt. This is what holds it down to the intake on your truck. So the 4.6 and the 5.4, I think the throttle body on it's a little bit different, but not much. The theory is all the same. And also, while you're in here, when you get the ports cleaned out, go ahead and take the time, clean your throttle body out real good. Like this one's very grimy, oilyish looking. This truck's very old. It's got a lot of miles on it. And I'm just sort of trying to bring it back to life. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment or send me a message. And I do appreciate you watching. And thank you, and have a good day.